Chicago Fire Season 14, Episode 5, Ghosts, is one of the most emotional and thematically rich installments of the season. A haunting mix of leadership struggles, guilt, and grief that perfectly suits its Halloween backdrop. The hour gives us ghost stories, both literal and emotional, as characters confront the pasts that won't let them rest. We begin with Vasquez, still clashing with his father, Ray, who continues to call the Firehouse from prison. Their tense exchanges reveal the generational friction between them. Ray believes Vasquez needs to learn to follow orders, while Vasquez just wants to move forward without his father's shadow haunting him. It's an uneasy push and pull, and it's clear there's much more to their history than we've seen. Meanwhile, Herrmann is drowning under the weight of his own tragedy. His home burned down, and he's been burying his pain beneath stubbornness. Mouch just wants to help, but Herrmann refuses to let anyone in. People need to stop asking what I need, he snaps. A clear sign that he doesn't even know what that is anymore. Cindy, too, is struggling to make sense of what comes next, and their inability to communicate turns every gesture of support into a trigger. Elsewhere, Halloween spirit takes over Firehouse 51. Novak plans a festive costume party, Isaiah's off to a school dance, and Mouch organizes a Pass the Boot fundraiser for the Herrmann family. Of course, Herrmann bristles at the idea, embarrassed that others see him as a charity case. But Mouch, being Mouch, is not taking no for an answer, and neither is Novak, who turns the whole event into a full-blown Halloween bash. With Pascal still rotating between houses, Severide remains in command, proving yet again that he's the natural leader of 51. The team's first call takes them to an apartment fire with smoke billowing from the basement. Cruz finds a man on oxygen who tells him about an injured woman in an apartment. But when he turns back, the man is gone. The woman, however, is real. Cruz saves her, but the mysterious informant never appears again. It's an eerie mystery that Cruz can't shake, setting off a quiet subplot about the ghosts who guide us when we need them most. At the same time, Kid and Vasquez handle the furnace situation. Kid notices Vasquez's distracted energy, unsure how to deal with the emotional minefield surrounding his father's constant calls. She turns to Severide for advice, trying to understand whether Vasquez's defiance is personal or something inherited. Later, Firehouse 51 gets a call that takes them to unfamiliar ground, the same one teased in the promo. Inside a strange facility, Kid finds an unconscious victim, but before she can help, the gas leak knocks her out cold. The sequence is tense and claustrophobic, the kind of high-stakes rescue that Chicago Fire excels at. Severide and the team rush in, dragging Kid and the victim out just in time for Violet and Novak to stabilize them. The victim, sadly, doesn't make it. A grim reminder of how thin the line between life and death can be. The gas leak forces a hazmat decontamination, and Severide orders Kid straight to med, refusing to take no for an answer. The truck is pulled out of service, and the shaken team reflects on how close they came. Vasquez apologizes to Kid for being too far away during the call, and though she reminds him he followed her orders, it's clear the scare rattled him deeply. Back at the house, Cruz continues his quiet investigation into the mysterious man he saw during the fire. But when he checks with the landlord, he learns that no one matching that description ever lived in the building, and no tenants fit the profile. Violet connects the dots when the woman Cruz rescued reaches out to thank him, recalling something familiar about the building's recent renovation. Could this John Doe have been something otherworldly? Maybe a spirit trying to help? Whether or not you believe in ghosts, it's a haunting thought, and a fitting mystery for the holiday. Meanwhile, Vasquez faces a new moral dilemma when his father pressures him to speak to a widower connected to Ray's parole case. Vasquez resists, torn between duty and resentment, but ultimately arranges a visit to tell Ray to stop calling the Firehouse. Through flashbacks, we learn that Vasquez's temper once got him kicked out of the police academy, a past mistake that still defines him today. Now, he's desperate to prove he's more than the son of a criminal. As the episode closes, Herrmann meets Cindy at the empty lot where their home once stood. The air between them is heavy with exhaustion and heartbreak. Cindy admits she doesn't want to rush into buying a fixer-upper just to fill the void. Herrmann agrees rebuilding the old house would take years and cost everything they have, but maybe it's the only way forward. As they stand amid the ashes, the question lingers. Can they rebuild not just their home, but themselves?